9 News Plus weather, sponsored by Carrier Colorado. The future of home comfort is here.
Hey, happy Wednesday. Thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast, which for today will have the threat for severe storms for us in the Denver metro area between about 2 and 6 p.m. Right now, it looks like we're going to be on the back end of that time frame, so probably around 4 or 5 o'clock would be when we see some of those stronger storms potentially move their way into our area. The risk for severe storms would be just a bit higher as you head just to the north and just to the east of Denver, but that risk for severe storms does include us here in Denver, though. I will say this is not an overwhelmingly big threat for severe storms. We've had higher risks for severe weather earlier on in the month, but still, certainly a day, if you have access to a garage or a carport, you probably want to have the car underneath one of those. Now, this is the view outside right now from Denver, and just seeing a few of those cumulus clouds off in the distance. That said, if we were to pan this camera off to the left, we'd see a lot more cloud cover, and we'd see a fair bit more moisture evident in the atmosphere, and that would give us the idea, or give us a bit of those kind of more visible signs that we're looking at that potential for severe storms later on today. Now, more storms possible for tomorrow, but the threat for severe weather will be highest for us for today. Excuse me, storms between about 2 and 6 p.m. Some of those could turn severe, higher risk, as I mentioned, north and east of Denver. And overall, we're looking at a cool and wet start to the month of June. Of course, today, the last day of the month of May and of meteorological spring. Tomorrow, meteorological summer begins, which means meteorologists, we identify the seasons by full complete months. So months of June, July, and August all together are meteorological summer, and so on and so forth. So for today, highest risk for severe weather, I-25 on east, hail and strong winds, the greatest threats for this afternoon. And as you get a little further south, probably a slightly higher risk for far southeastern Colorado, including eastern Los Alamos counties, as well as Baca County in far southeastern Colorado. So here's the reason why we're looking at that threat for severe weather for today. You look off to our south and notice that cluster of showers and thunderstorms out around Santa Fe, as well as Albuquerque. All of that moisture is lifting north, and we've got an area low pressure, very weak one, but it is centered over southwestern Kansas. And that's kind of an ideal spot to draw in some of that moisture. The thing we don't have a lot of for today, and that this will probably limit our threat for severe weather, it's something called wind shear, which is the change in wind speed and direction with height. That's one of the main things we look for in terms of that potential for severe weather. We just don't have a lot of shear for today, and that means that that natural spinning motion for a severe thunderstorm just won't be there. So any storms that we develop today will probably kind of peter out fairly quickly because of that. So that said, these storms will flare on up, as I mentioned, between about 2 and 6 p.m. It looks at this point like that risk for the metro area will probably be on the back end of that window, so around 4, 5, 6 o'clock. And that could include potential for large hail, and at this point it looks like hail will be our main concern for this afternoon. You get off to the east, and that's where you'll look at a slightly higher risk for severe weather. Again, Fort Morgan, Lyman, points east of there, and that's where we'll be looking at the higher risk for severe storms. Close look in here at the metro area. East of the airport, north of the airport, again, that's where you probably see some of those stronger cells develop around 3, 4, 5 o'clock this afternoon. And then by about 5, 6 o'clock, still maybe a leftover shower or two, and then it'll eventually give way to clearing skies by about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. And then for tomorrow, things looking once again a bit not only stormier, but also a fair bit more cloud cover for tomorrow as well. That said, for today, hail and wind are main threats. I kind of mentioned this on Twitter that if I had a medium option, that would be my choice here. I've got the low, medium, and high, but I would say it's somewhere in between low and medium in terms of that threat for severe weather. Hail and wind, again, are two big concerns for this afternoon. Temperatures right now, 70s for the most part on the eastern plains, 50s and 60s into the high country. We should get on up to near 80 degrees for us this afternoon. And with that said, again, that main concern for today with those stronger showers and storms that could develop between about 2 and 6 p.m. Now, what happens today, and it's going to be quite interesting, is we get an area low pressure that's slowly spinning off to our south and west. This will just kind of nudge. This thing is just crawling along, but it's going to nudge its way in our direction by tomorrow into your Friday. And that'll lead to a more kind of unsettled pattern. So the last couple of days, we've had a lot of sunshine during the morning. We've had pretty warm temperatures, a lot of low 80s during the afternoon. That'll switch because of this area low pressure. We'll see more clouds. We'll see cooler temperatures, and that looks to be the general rule of thumb as we head over the next few days. So for tomorrow, a lot more cloud cover, showers and storms around, temperatures about 5 degrees cooler than today, and that kicks off this pretty active pattern with, again, a lot of cloud cover, cooler temperatures, and widespread afternoon showers and storms. That said, the risk for severe weather each afternoon does decrease starting tomorrow. So today, more sunshine in the morning, warmer temperatures, and the potential for severe storms in the afternoon. Tomorrow, a lot more cloud cover, cooler temperatures, but less severe weather, though we do have widespread showers and storms. And this could lead to some pretty decent rainfall totals for some spots across the state as we head over the next couple of days with those basically daily afternoon shower and storm chances. So the 7-day forecast, once we get past that, again, it is just unsettled. A lot of lightning, a lot of rain, a lot of just kind of cool temperatures. Our average high, by the way, this time of year for the first week of the month of June, we're normally, or I should say on average, we're in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. So we're seeing these upper 60s, low to mid 70s. This is pretty notably cool for us for this time of year. Now, one thing to also watch for today is if we get another 1/10 of an inch of rainfall. All we need is another 1/10 of an inch of rain, which could happen this afternoon with those storms. This would make it one of the 10 wettest months ever recorded here in Denver. And records here in town go back over 150 years. They go back to the 1870s. So if we get another 0.08 inches of rain at Denver International Airport, that would make it the 10th wettest month ever recorded. If we get a full 1/10 of an inch of rain, it would make it our 8th wettest month ever recorded. So worth noting all that just because it is pretty, it has certainly been a wet month. I know I don't have to tell you, a lot of you that, but we're knocking on the doorstep here of some pretty significant history, one of our wettest months on record. If we can get another just 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, it's not a ton. We got a good storm that should pretty much do it for that. That said, I'll have another update for you coming up at 9 News at noon, also at 2 p.m. here on 9 News Plus. We'll also have frequent updates throughout the afternoon on 9 News and on 9 News Plus, so we'll keep you posted with the latest on this risk for severe storms right here on 9 News. By the way, we'll also have meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News Family Network. So once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus, and have a great rest of your Wednesday.